beautiful souls, and welcome to my daily inspiration where we turn life's hardest moments into very powerful lessons. That hardest moment that you went through, that challenging moment you went through, instead of living into it and every day you are coiling yourself into it, why don't you turn it into a very, very powerful lesson? Because everything we go through, it should be a lesson. And so today we are diving into something quite interesting, turning a heartbreak into wisdom and emotional intelligence. Instead of dying there crashing down every day, take it as a lesson. You become more wise and even you develop your emotional intelligence. Let's dive right in. So I will start with a small story of me. Back in 2020, my heart was torn into pieces. My heart was shattered into a million pieces. But looking back today, I appreciate because it was a blessing in disguise. Lessons I learned up to now, they have kept me because I decided to turn that very painful moment into a lesson. So let me take you through what happened to me back in 2020 during the corona period. I fell in love during the corona period. So it was this particular time, it was towards the end of 2019. I was invited for a dinner, and in that dinner, I sat next to this handsome man. I liked him because, in that dinner I was participating, so I was an usher, a very beautiful usher. Yes, I was standing at the door welcoming people. You know how ushers do. And so this handsome man walked in, and suddenly I felt not an attraction, but I just felt, he caught my eye. Yeah, let me say that, he caught my eye. So I welcomed him, I led him to his seat, and I went an extra mile and asked him, "Hey sir, can I serve you something?" So he was a bit reserved, he didn't want to eat, so he said that he would only take fruits. So I went ahead, I went to the buffet, served him some fruits and some vegetables and some fresh juice. Then I sat right next to him on that particular table, because now the dinner was beginning, the ushering services were over, so we were all sitting down to continue with the dinner service. So, cutting the long story short, the guy went and we exchanged contacts, and we kept talking, then we got into 2020, we decided to meet, we used to have dinners. And one thing I loved about this guy, one thing I really appreciated about this guy is that we could only go out for dinners and then we come back home. That time I was living with my parent, my mom, and he used to live somewhere else. So he could drop me home, and definitely, he couldn't come in because it's my mom's house. And then this guy, there is no single day he ever asked me to go to his house. As a Christian girl that I am, I was so happy to say, this guy respects me so much. He's not telling me to go to his house, so he's not up to, just taking advantage of me. And clearly, I can see that he loves me. So one thing led to the other. We kept meeting. We could go out for drives, and our bond became stronger and stronger. And I was in love. And guess what? I was even asking my mom. I was looking at the compound. I was looking at our home compound, and I could ask my Mom, how many tents would fit in here? Can maybe about 50 people fit in here? I was already planning for my dowry payment, because I saw a guy who was so serious, a guy who really wanted this thing to happen. So I was so excited, and you just know about the love shenanigans. So this day came. It happened that all of a sudden the guy went silent. Let me take you back a little bit. I am a Christian, I am a believer, and everything I believe in consulting God. So I prayed for this relationship. I told God, you know what, God, I love this man. I love him so much. But Lord, if this is not your will, I pray that may you split us. Just cause something to come in between us and just let us divide completely. Let's go our separate ways. It was a painful prayer to make, but it was a good prayer for me and even for him. So around that time when I was making the prayer, the guy went missing. He stopped talking to me. He stopped texting me. He stopped even calling me out for dinners. And it broke my heart. My God, it broke my heart. I feared waking up in the morning because I didn't know how I would live through that day without talking to him. That's how attached I was to him. Every night I could get to my bed, look at my phone, try to see whether there is a text message from him, and there wasn't. I text him, he doesn't text back. I remember I used to walk all the way, like I could walk even for 10 kilometers, just walking, not knowing where I'm going, just walking and walking, crying, because this guy has just gone silent on me. He's not telling me anything. I miss him, I love him. He's not talking to me, he's not answering my calls. Well, I think my prayer was being answered at that time. So after he went silent on me for quite some time, later I saw a text message from him. He said, "Hi Rose." Then I said, "Why are you even texting me just like that after you've been so silent on me?" Then that text was followed by another text that said, "I know you've been worried why I'm not talking to you, why I'm not answering your calls. I'm really sorry," but then he gave me the dotted lines. Then I responded. I didn't even say hi back. I said, "But what? I am married." Moment of silence for my heart. That guy told me that he was married. And I came to understand why he never even asked me to go to his house, asked me, he could just drop me and then go back to wherever he was going. And then he made sure that after he's dropped me, even before he gets to his house, he would call me and tell me, "Hey, thank you for the good time. I just got home." Then I ask him, have you gotten in the house? Not yet. Why? So call me when you get in the house. No. I want to make a few phone calls here so that when I go to the house, I'll just sleep. And I could just buy that story. There's no single day he called me when he was in his house. So I never gave a deep thought to that. Cutting the long story short, I was so broken. I was so heartbroken. I felt like I would never heal. I felt betrayed. I felt disrespected. I felt lost. I had no direction. My God, a heartbreak is painful. A heartbreak is painful. So I learned some lessons, which I have actually documented here because I want all of us to learn. I decided to turn that story. I decided to turn that heartbreak into powerful lessons. Please allow me to scroll down because I used to journal. I used to journal so many things. So this is part of what I used to journal. Yeah, just give me a minute to check through this. Just a minute and we will be here. So I came to realize that this pain had a purpose because it built me. And this is how it built me. That time of silence, I could draft such a long text message. I could draft him a long text message. I could call him endlessly, but he never ever answered my calls. He never returned to my messages. And then later I came to realize that to him, I look like I'm being now, a nuisance, texting too much. So, and it's anytime I thought about him and I felt the pain, I could text him. Anytime I thought, because he was not answering my calls, anytime I felt the pain is too much in my heart, I could try call him, and then after 2 minutes I call him again, after 5 minutes I call him again, but he was not answering my calls. So this taught me one lesson that I drew from that. Me texting, calling, and he's not responding. One lesson I learned was, do not respond to every emotional turbulence you feel. Do not respond to every feeling that you have. So this shaped me, and up to date, I have practiced not, if I feel pain, I have learned to be calm and to sit down and to think. And then because I loved him so much, he set a bar of love. He was the first man I ever loved. So through him, I learned what love was and what love is. So any man who does not reach to that bar, to me, he does not meet the qualifications of the kind of a man I want. Because if he falls below that bar, trust you me, if I say yes to this man and then I come and meet my ex, trust you me, I will cheat on this man. Or rather, I will start admiring my ex more than, because he has not, that guy came and he set a bar for me. That was another lesson I learned. That these people come so that God can show you, can give you a taste of what you're supposed to taste. Just there are people who get into relationships for the sake of it. But no, he made me taste love. And once I tasted it, if anything doesn't taste like that, hello, I'm not boarding. And this is my path. The people who would say, Apana Rose, I don't think that's right. This is my path. These are my lessons. Every road with its own road signs. No, this is my path. And I feel it's good I share because this is what I went through and it taught me a lot. So, lessons on emotional intelligence that I learned. Imagine I had to document them. So, lessons on emotional intelligence. Understanding and managing your emotions. I learned that feeling pain doesn't mean that I am weak. I am just human. And I do not suppress what you're feeling. Just process them the way they are. Okay? When you feel that pain, instead of taking that phone and texting him, instead of calling him, instead of posting on WhatsApp status, instead of going to Facebook and writing a whole story there, just take your very private notebook, journal everything you're feeling. Assume you're even writing a letter to him. Write and write and write. Andika ikutoke. Write everything. Learn to journal and also learn to pray. God held me through. I remember that time, because it was during Corona time, there were no churches. So in my church, because I'm well known, I was allowed to just go and pray. So before I went to work every morning, I used to pass by church and I was not praying. I was crying. And because God is a father, like parents, I'm not yet a parent, but I have an idea how it feels to be a parent. When your child cries and she doesn't even say anything or he's not saying anything, he's just crying, you as a mother, you will understand what the problem, in most cases, you'll understand the problem, where the problem is. So I went to my father. I poured out my heart like Hannah. Hannah poured out her heart to the Lord. And even the priest thought that she was drunk. But she went and poured out her heart to the Lord. Even her voice, she even lost her voice. She was just moving her lips. I went and I poured out my heart to the Lord. I cried and I told God, God, this pain is too much and I cannot take any painkiller to heal it. Father, heal me. Prayer, prayer, prayer. I tell you, it didn't take me a long time, but God had to take me through that moment because I was kaput in matters emotional. I was zero in emotional intelligence. But after that man came, I learned how to handle relationships. I learned how to handle every feeling that comes my way. And I learned how to journal everything. So you feeling pain and you feeling like you're breaking down, it is not a weakness. It only shows that you're a human. But question is, how do you deal with that pain? Do you react to it? Do you outburst on it? And then you go, just spilling out to everyone, the toxic, the venom that is inside of you of that pain. You do go spilling it on people. Do you give that guy those endless phone calls? Emotional intelligence. So number 1, understand and manage your emotions. These are the notes I eventually came and I wrote them down. And then number 2, not reacting but responding. So, and this is what I noted down. I stopped letting my emotions control me. Instead of texting out of anger, I learned to pause and think. As I had earlier mentioned, I could write a whole novel. A whole novel, literally a whole novel to him. Oh, where have I gone wrong? Please forgive me. And even if you don't want this to continue, just let us be friends. I am ready to be your friend. Oh my God. I used to write and he never used to respond. So his silence made me learn a lesson. Woo! Do not react, but respond. If you feel like your response is wanting, just keep calm. Just keep calm. Stop letting your emotions control you. Do not let your emotions control your decisions. You can do something that is crazy. And that's why you hear even people go, there are ladies who will even go to their ex's boyfriends. They'll even attack their current girlfriends. They're going even to text even their parents. Reacting out of emotions. Calmness. Woo, I learned. And then learn your self-worth. At times I used to cry and ask myself, I've kept myself well, I've tried to stay well, I've tried to live a good life, and I don't deserve this kind of a thing. So I started appreciating my self-worth. And I said, I don't deserve to be mistreated like this. I appreciated my self-worth. So this is what I wrote down on my notes. I realized I was settling for less than I deserved. The emotional intelligence helped me to set boundaries and attract better connections. Through that, I started setting boundaries. I know it hurts, but I will not. I know it hurts, but I will not. I know it hurts, but I will not. And then I started trusting on God's plan. I remembered the book of Jeremiah, where the Bible says that the plans God has for us, they are plans of good and not evil. So I started trusting in the plan of God, knowing that He has said in the book of Isaiah that none of these shall lack their mates. For the mouth of the Lord has ordered His Spirit that He may bring them together. So I started trusting in that, because God will never lie. I am a staunch Christian. I believe in the promises of God. So I said, I'm going to risk and trust in the promises of God. I'm just going to trust on Him. And He gave me peace. He healed my heart. My God, He healed my heart. So sometimes, this is what I noted down under that point. Sometimes rejection is redirection. What I thought was a loss was actually God's protection. I thought I was losing this man, because I tell you up to date, actually, FYI, he's still my friends. We even spoke today. We are best of friends. And I always tell him, you made me go through a process of character development. My character developed. And out of that pain, I have learned so many things. There are things that, I love sitting down alone. I love meditating. And through all this, I was meditating and I was saying, how at times we react to heartbreaks is like, I don't know how many of you have ever gotten a burn. That bruise you get after you get burnt by maybe a steam, hot water or something. Water swells on your skin. So what most people do, they run into the fridge to put their hands in the fridge, in the freezer to ease the pain. And actually it relieves some pain. But the moment you remove it, the pain is still there 100%. So question is, are you going to stay in that freezer? You cannot, unless you keep working with icebergs. But then the best thing would be, do not put that hand into the freezer. Persevere the pain. Vumilia hiyo uchungu. Vumilia tu. It might take 30 to 45 minutes, but eventually it calms down by itself. It's the same case with a heartbreak. If every time you feel pain, you run, you text, you call, you tell your friends, you go out, you get drunk, you go out, you piga sherehe, you go out, you just do all sorts of all sorts of things, all manner of things to heal, that, to try and fill that gap, to try and fill that gap. You try and start getting rebounds relationships to fill that gap. Those are just ice cubes you're placing there. And zitaisha too, you can't walk in town with ice cubes. But if you feel that pain, and then you just stay composed, hold on to it, and just relax. Just take a breather. Relax. Vumilia. It hurts. Yes, it hurts. I can't face another day. Yes, it hurts. I don't even know how to face tomorrow. I can't wait for this month to end. How will this month even end? How will this day even end? How will I survive through the entire day without a text or a call from him? It's painful. It hurts. I've been there. Trust me. It hurts. But vumilia. Don't go to that club. Don't get your girlfriends and go for crazy road trips when you're all drunk. Stop stop broadcasting it on YouTube. On Facebook. Stop broadcasting it on your WhatsApp status. Stop broadcasting it on your Twitter handle. Do not. Just relax. Wait until you're calm. And eventually the dust comes down and you're able to see clearly. Emotional intelligence. And that brings out the beautiful you. Okay? So, I turned that heartbreak into wisdom and emotional intelligence. I acquired a heart of wisdom and I developed emotional intelligence. And up to date, I remember we spoke some time back and I told him, the process of the character development you put me through, it taught me so many things. Right now, I know what I want. Right now, I don't throw tantrums. I don't get weird mood swings. I have learned how to control my emotions. I learned how to control because when I realized that he was not responding, there's nothing as bad as somebody giving you silence treatment. You try to be nice, to be tough, to be whatever, but it's just quiet. So it made me to stop and think. That one is referred to as Selah in the book of Proverbs. It made me to stop and think, and I realized reacting to every feeling, reacting to every emotional turbulence and turmoil, it just makes you look like a fool. But if you're quiet, you're calm, you put it under absolute control, you become such a strong human being. So even up to date, any man who approaches me, I know how to handle them. They hurt me, I look back and I say, what I usually do, I look back, there's somebody who will come, you like them, and then later you realize it's not working, it hurts a little bit. So what I say is, I look back and I say, if I survived that one, even this one I will survive. I will not write text messages, I will not do endless phone calls, I will not broadcast it. Actually, at that moment, I avoid social media, totally. I avoid posting anything on WhatsApp, because now that one is trying to show how I am feeling. But emotional intelligence tells you, put everything under control. So that was a very, very painful moment, a very, very hard moment in my life, but I turned it into a lesson of wisdom. Today, I look back, I appreciate the heartbreak I went through. I'm no longer in pain. Well, I am not yet dating, but there are people who've come into my life, but they haven't reached that bar. Hawajafika bei bado, because I know there's a bar that was set, and I can only go above that bar. Hello, it is what it is. A bar was set, and I can only go above that bar. If you ain't reaching that bar, it's not working. And I'm a very bold person, and I'm a very, very happy person. So let us all learn to turn hurtful, painful moments into wonderful lessons of life. Have you gone through a painful moment in your life and you would like to share with us? Please feel free to reach me out. My email address is right below here, and also my phone number is right below here. You can WhatsApp me, you can call me, you can email me, and we'll always stay in touch. So let me give you a parting shot. I wrote a parting shot for you. I want to remind you that you will heal and you will grow. If I healed, you can also heal. If I grew, you can also grow. And this is my parting shot. If you're heartbroken right now, trust me, the pain won't last forever. One day, like me, you look back and realize it was a blessing in disguise. I will repeat that. If you're heartbroken right now, if you are heartbroken right now, trust me, this pain won't last forever. One day, one time, just like me, you will look back and say, indeed, this was a blessing in disguise. Thank you so much for being such a strong human being. So even up to date, any man who approaches me, I know how to handle them. They hurt me, I look back and I say, what I usually do, I look back, there's somebody who will come, you like them, and then later you realize it's not working, it hurts a little bit. So what I say is, I look back and I say, if I survived that one, even this one I will survive. I will not write text messages, I will not do endless phone calls, I will not broadcast it. Actually, at that moment, I avoid social media, totally. I avoid posting anything on WhatsApp, because now that one is trying to show how I am feeling. But emotional intelligence tells you, put everything under control. So that was a very, very painful moment, a very, very hard moment in my life, but I turned it into a lesson of wisdom. Today, I look back, I appreciate the heartbreak I went through. I'm no longer in pain. Well, I am not yet dating, but there are people who've come into my life, but they haven't reached that bar. Hawajafika bei bado, because I know there's a bar that was set, and I can only go above that bar. Hello, it is what it is. A bar was set, and I can only go above that bar. If you ain't reaching that bar, it's not working. And I'm a very bold person, and I'm a very, very happy person. So let us all learn to turn hurtful, painful moments into wonderful lessons of life. Have you gone through a painful moment in your life and you would like to share with us? Please feel free to reach me out. My email address is right below here, and also my phone number is right below here. You can WhatsApp me, you can call me, you can email me, and we'll always stay in touch. So let me give you a parting shot. I wrote a parting shot for you. I want to remind you that you will heal and you will grow. If I healed, you can also heal. If I grew, you can also grow. And this is my parting shot. If you're heartbroken right now, trust me, the pain won't last forever. One day, like me, you look back and realize it was a blessing in disguise. I will repeat that. If you're heartbroken right now, If you're broke, if you are heartbroken right now, trust me, this pain won't last forever. One day, one time, just like me, you will look back and say, indeed, this was a blessing in disguise. Thank you so much for watching, and let's do this again next week, same time. And always remember to keep it the Let Out Show. Kindly, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and also hit the notification button, and let us grow together. Until next time, God bless you. From yours truly, Rose, I love you. Mwah. Take care, and remember to turn painful moments into amazing lessons. God bless you.